Hi everyone, welcome. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the creation of S3 bucket and I'll explain some basic concept that you need to carry along with you. Okay, so S3 stands for Simple Storage Services. Okay, it's different from block store or file storage, so I've done a separate video with the difference among them. Okay, so please subscribe to my channel or go to my channel and then have a look at those ones as well. Right here, let me show you how to create AWS S3 bucket. Okay, so S3 is just like a service. So here, think about it, it's a container. Okay, so in that, okay, I have more recently visited. If you want, you can search it here. Okay, to create bucket. Okay, so here, and then you can open it in a tab. Okay, but for now, let me go here. I'm gonna create a bucket. Yeah, so to create a bucket, you go here, you select create bucket. Okay, and then you can choose between the general purpose and then the directory. So let's go for the general purpose. This is most frequently used. Okay, so you give it a name. Okay, the name has to be global. Okay, so let's give it a name like simply done, let's say tech. Yeah, and then let's add, yeah, this number at the end. Remember, it's global, it's regional. Okay, you put your bucket in a specific region for availability redundancy. Yeah, but remember, S3 is a global service, but you still need to put your bucket somewhere closer to your users. Yeah, if you want to have what we call copy settings from your previous bucket, you can. I've got this. If I want to pick the configuration of my previous bucket, yes, I can, but I'm not doing that. Okay, you scroll down. Let's leave it, bucket ownership, object ownership to this account, no any other account, my account, this account. If I select this, it means a different account. Okay, any other account can have access. Let's leave this to block. Okay, we are blocking public access. If I disable it, it means the public will have access. Versioning, this will allow you to keep multiple or different version, different variant of your object within your bucket. For accidental deletion, you can easily revert back to your old version, okay, or old copy. You can tag it and give it a name, okay, as a label. Basically, who owns this bucket? Team, let's say DevOps, and then you add it to that. um this is the default encryption. We will stick to that. Okay, this will allow you to have what we call encryption at rest. Okay, even when you lose your data, nobody can read it. It's encrypted. So we have your bucket key as well. Again, get the encrypted. And then in the advanced setting, okay, we will leave this as disabled. We're not locking it. Remember, you have what we call, you write once, you can read many. So this will prevent, okay, object from being deleted or overwritten. Yeah, if you want that, you select that, but for now, let's leave it to that. All the way to the bottom, and then all you need to do is to create, and your bucket is getting created. Okay, bucket is created. You can find the name here. Okay, so that's your bucket, that's the name, and then you can upload the object. There are four things you need to remember. Bucket, that's the container. Object is the stuff you put in the container. Anything, video recording, your login, voice recording, any old files you put in here, we call this object. Yeah, we can upload one. Let's quickly upload one. Okay, let's upload, you know one simple. Let's grab that one. Okay, that will do. Okay, create this, and then at the bottom you upload. Okay, so the file that we are uploading is a file. Okay, and then you can upload it as a key. This is the name to a destination. Okay, and then we call it upload. Let's upload it. Okay, it's getting uploaded. So this is put. That's we done. So when you go back to our bucket, we have an object here. Okay, there's another thing I want you to know. We call something prefix, yeah, or a folder. We don't call it a folder. You can call it a folder, but it's technically not a folder. It's part of the object, it's part of the naming. Okay, so you're gonna mimic something like a folder. So we call this folder, but technically it's a prefix. Yeah. So let's say folder structure, folder number, let's say dev. Okay, and then you leave it like that. All you need to do is create folder. Can you see that? So I can create a folder within a folder, and then within a folder, like a folder structure. Yeah, we call this prefix. Yeah, so in here again, I can also create another folder. Okay, let's say test. Okay, so you can mimic something like a folder structure, but we call this prefix. Can you see at the top in simply done bucket we have dev, and within dev we have that. Okay, let's go back in here. Dev, within dev we got test. So you can literally mimic something like a folder structure. When you put an object in here, let's put an object in test and you see the folder structure. Yeah, let's quickly do this and pick that one again, upload it. Okay, and then load. Okay, once we finish, okay, and go to the cancel this, close that. Okay, in here, let me click on that. If you go all the way, okay, not here, I want to see the actual object. Okay, right, this is what I want to see. Yeah, so this is the bucket URL, this is the name of the bucket, the region, okay, and AWS, and then you see the folder structure, dev, test, and then the actual object. So it's mimicking like a folder structure, but remember, this is becoming part of the object name. We call it prefix. Okay, so this is it. This is what I wanted to show you. It's a short video, showing you how to create S3 bucket. Okay, and remember, this bucket is only for now. Let's have a quick look. The object in here. Actually, go back in here. Properties. Okay, so we have other configuration here if you want to set. I'll do a separate video about static site. S3, you can also use this to host what we call static site. So this is, I would say, a quick video on what we call AWS S3. All right. I will see you in the next video. I've done another full video regarding S3. If you have time, you want to watch the whole video, I added what we call the policy to grant access to other users. Okay, I've done that. So please also watch that, and that will be helpful. That's a bit comprehensive, but this video is just a short, sharp video on how to create bucket. Happy learning. Please comment on the chat and then keep liking my video. I'm happy to do any video you recommend. Thank you very much. Bye bye.